Oh, that feels nice.
Air conditioning.
Holy crap. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
I thought that was the main thing.
And here I am at the Starship factory in Starbase, Texas, right by the Rio Grande.
Something incredible is happening behind closed doors in Texas, where SpaceX is attempting to do what no other private company has ever tried to pull off before. It is the mass production of interplanetary rockets that could decide humanity's future beyond Earth. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into insane space advancements and engineering, the vision that drives the factory. To understand the exact goals of the SpaceX factory, it is essential to understand the mindset behind it. Elon Musk didn't build SpaceX solely to make money by launching satellites, but rather, he built it to answer a single, uncomfortable question. The question is, what happens if at any point the Earth stops being habitable for us humans? The floor of this factory reflects that urgency, because every process, every machine, and every human decision is optimized properly for one long-term goal: to get humans to Mars, and to make them self-sustaining there. SpaceX does not work like other traditional aerospace companies, because they build rockets slowly, cautiously, and at extremely low volumes, and SpaceX treats rockets more like high-performance industrial products. The goal here is not about one perfect vehicle, and it is actually about thousands of launches at the same time. This belief is what fundamentally reshapes how the factory operates at a massive level, because instead of polished showrooms and ceremonial unveilings, the environment feels totally raw, fast, and brutally practical. And if something does not help the mission, it does not last long here. This factory does not just focus on building rockets, and it is actually focused on building a production system that is meant for surviving decades of iteration, failure, redesign, and improvement. Every scratch on any steel panel in this factory represents learning instead of loss, and every exploded prototype feeds directly back into the next variant. This philosophy is integrated into the concrete of the building itself, not just algorithms or computer systems. Boca Chica. Why the factory is in the middle of nowhere. SpaceX could have easily built its most ambitious factory anywhere in California, Florida, or any other major progressive state. Instead, it chose a quiet area of land near Boca Chica, Texas. At first glance, it seems quite inconvenient because it is totally remote, windy, and far from major cities. But if you look at it strategically, it is almost perfect for the goal of this factory. This location will allow SpaceX to test and launch massive rockets without the same restrictions that are often faced near populated areas. All the explosions, sonic beams, or fiery test failures are expected parts of development in these areas. This freedom will dramatically accelerate the iteration, because engineers can design, build, test, fail, and then rebuild in the same physical space. And sometimes this could happen within a few days. Also, Boca Chica will allow SpaceX to vertically integrate production and testing, because components would not need to be shipped across the country, as tanks will roll straight from welding stations to the launch site. Engines could easily move from test stands to directly into integration bays, and this tight feedback loop will collapse timelines that would normally stretch into several years. So what looks like isolation is actually speed that is disguised as silence. Stainless steel, the radical material choice. One of the most controversial SpaceX factory decisions made so far was choosing stainless steel instead of carbon fiber or aluminum alloys. Traditional aerospace wisdom says that stainless steel is too heavy and outdated for building durable and practical rockets, but SpaceX completely ignored that wisdom. Inside the factory, you will see that the entire floor is dominated by massive rolls of stainless steel. This material offers several advantages that align perfectly with this plant's rapid manufacturing goal, as it is cheaper, easier to weld, more resistant to heat, and also stronger at cryogenic temperatures. When you have to deal with supercooled liquid methane and oxygen, the last advantage of this material, matters a lot. This factory uses automated welding systems that create precise vertical seams to form giant cylindrical sections, which are known as rings. These rings are then stacked like building blocks to create a fuel tank that is often multiple stories high. The most striking thing is how visible the entire process is, because unlike traditional aerospace manufacturing, which is hidden behind sealed rooms, much of SpaceX's fabrication happens out in the open. The steel may not look elegant like aluminum alloys, but remember, elegance is not the point here. Survivability, scalability, and repairability are the main focuses of this factory. Stainless steel can be easily welded, patched, and modified with relatively simple tools, even when it happens beyond Earth and on Mars. You can't get replacement parts delivered overnight. Ring yards and the art of rapid construction. The ringy hour is the part where Starship truly begins to take shape, as each ring represents a section of the rocket's body which is precisely rolled and welded. Workers move quickly while they are guided by jigs, coins, and laser alignment systems, and this pace is completely relentless. What separates this plant from all legacy aerospace facilities is how comfortable it is with imperfections. While early versions of these rings had visible weld marks and alignment flaws, instead of halting production, SpaceX actually chose to improve the process while continuing to build with every failure. And now, every iteration is making the next one cleaner, faster, and stronger. This approach of SpaceX Factory is deeply counterintuitive to traditional aerospace culture, where perfection is demanded before flight. But SpaceX has flipped that logic, and it has accepted that early hardware will fail, so it treats failure as data to improve. The factory is not designed to eliminate mistakes, but it is actually designed to learn from them as quickly as possible. The ring stacks grew taller, smoother, and more uniform over time, while the factory evolved alongside the vehicle. It adapted tooling and workflows with each coming generation. This seems like manufacturing as a living organism, and not as any fixed blueprint. If you're enjoying this video so far, then do subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis of various aerospace innovations. The heart of the rocket, Raptor engine production. No part of the factory is more critical than Raptor engine production. This engine is the most advanced rocket engine ever built, because it uses a full-flow staged combustion cycle that only very few engineers considered practical. It runs on liquid methane, which is a fuel chosen specifically because it can be synthesized on Mars. Inside the engine production area, precision reaches an entirely different level, where components are machined to microscopic tolerances, and turbopumps spin at insane speeds under extreme temperatures and pressures. Any flaw here can mean catastrophic failure, so everything is monitored closely. What makes this even more impressive is the scale of the production of these engines, because SpaceX isn't building a handful of engines per year, but it is actually aiming for mass production. Each Starship requires multiple Raptors, and each super heavy booster needs even more. That means the factory must produce engines reliably, repeatedly, and affordably. So, SpaceX simplified engine design wherever possible to achieve this level of production and affordability. Now there are fewer parts, fewer welds, and fewer failure points. Lessons from early engine explosions weren't hidden, and they were actually absorbed directly into redesigns to make them a lot better than their previous models. The Raptor today is lighter, more powerful, and more reliable than its predecessors. This isn't just an engine. It's the mechanical heartbeat of a multi-planetary species. Cryogenic tank assembly, holding controlled chaos. Fuel tanks may sound simple to you, but in a rocket like Starship, they are considered engineering nightmares because these tanks must hold super cold propellants while withstanding enormous pressure and surviving extreme vibration during launch. They have to do all of this while remaining as light as possible. So, tank sections are stacked vertically inside the factory, and they are welded with extraordinary precision. Dome sections are carefully fitted to distribute stress evenly throughout the entire structure, and the welding process is monitored in real time with the help of sensors. These sensors track everything from temperature, alignment, to structural integrity, because one mistake here doesn't just mean a leak. It can actually mean structural collapse under heavy load. Yet SpaceX still applies its fast iteration philosophy here as well. Tanks are pressure tested aggressively, while sometimes they are pushed to the point of failure, so that when a tank bursts, It's not considered a disaster, and it is a lesson, as every failed test refines the design margins. So, over time, tanks could become stronger with less material. This factory evolves not by avoiding stress, but by intentionally pushing systems beyond their limits. The integration phase, when everything comes together. Once all the major components are completely built, the factory enters its most complex stage, and that is the integration step. This is where tanks, engines, avionics, plumbing, wiring, and control systems all converge into a single vehicle that is getting ready for launch. At this stage, integration bays feel less like workshops and more like organized chaos, while technicians move across multiple levels, routing cables, installing sensors, and connecting fuel lines. Here, every connection must survive extreme heat, vibration, and acceleration to make the rocket durable for its mission. What's unique here is how modular the design is, because all components are built to be swapped quickly, as engines could be removed, inspected, and reinstalled. While avionics systems are designed for rapid access and replacement, this modularity is quite essential for reusability, which is central to SpaceX's mission. Integration isn't about building something once, and it is actually about building something that can fly, land, and fly again, with minimal downtime. Software and avionics, the invisible factory layer. While steel and engines dominate visually, much of Starship's complexity is invisible because it is actually hidden in its software and avionics. And all software developments are carried out in parallel to physical manufacturing. The two are tightly coupled so that a proper rocket could be completed with aggressive speed. On the other hand, avionics hardware is installed deep inside the vehicle, and it houses flight computers, navigation systems, and communication equipment. These systems must operate flawlessly from launch to orbital insertion to atmospheric re-entry and landing for a successful mission. That is why SpaceX treats software as a first-class manufacturing component instead of an afterthought. Every code is tested, rewritten, and deployed continuously, while simulations are run constantly to model every phase of flight. When hardware changes, software has to adapt instantly so that the rocket can work perfectly fine. This tight integration allows SpaceX to update vehicle behavior faster than traditional aerospace companies update documentation. This factory isn't just producing metal, but it is actually producing intelligence at a massive scale. Inside the SpaceX factory, rockets aren't built like monuments, and they're actually built like tools that are fast, imperfect, and constantly evolving. This is how the most powerful rockets in history are being forged, for a future that doesn't end on Earth. Now, if you enjoyed watching this video, then don't forget to subscribe for more interesting breakdowns of space technologies.